Keep the focus, keep the focus, keep the focus.
Come on, boys. Get in there.
Jed, we're set.
Watsonians, they had an early scare in the first round, getting past Kelso 10 points to 7, and then defeating Hamilton and Boroughmuir on their way to the final, where JED-FOREST, they had an easier task against Musselburgh, but after that they had to work hard against Melrose and Edinburgh Accies to get to the final of their own tournament and try and pick up some silverware this season. So it is an absolute cracker of a final here. A couple of team announcements to note is Richard Mill and Jamie Soule will both play for JED-FOREST. They'll line up on the bench with Jai McGough. So they're going to line up with Robbie Eurston, Gary Monroe, Callum Young, Rory Marshall, Lewis Young, Gregor Law and Robbie Shearer Gibb, who's making his first start of the tournament. That's going to be the host side, the Watsonians team, which is going to line up in the final. They've got Darren Gillespie on the bench for them, so a little bit of a Jed tinge on the final for the Watsonians team. But their squad is listed as Charlie McKill, Ewan Miller, Darren Gillespie, Ali Harris, Andrew Skeen, Lewis Berg, Josh Rowland, Chris Bell, Ben Robbins and Harry Fisher. So play about to get underway as Graham Ormiston blasts his whistle. Ali Harris with the kick-off, a high hoisted restart there, and it's well flat back by Robbie Eurston. It finds Gary Monroe eventually, and he's found Callum Young blistering onto the ball. He's found a little gap in between two players there. Watching as he's scampered over the 10 metre line, he's kicked in field, a great bit of intelligent play. The ball's going to bubble up for Gary Monroe. It's just been knocked forward just about to go over the line. All he had to do was pick up the ball, but the odd-shaped ball just bobbling in front of him, just ricochets off his knees, then off his hands, and it goes forward for a knock-on. So an exciting start to this tie, half a minute in, and JED-FOREST had the opportunity to open the score in there. Great intelligent play from Callum Young. This is certainly shaping up to be a cracker. Watsonians putting into the scrum. Ali Harris managing to get the ball away. He's went in between two challenges there. He had Josh Rowland for support, but he's not able to get the ball away. It's been cleared over. Penalty to Jed. Jed getting a penalty in the 22 for holding in at the ruck. Good work on the deck there from Lewis Young. And it's taken quickly by Gary Monroe. Gary Monroe finding Callum Young on the 22. He's cut with Robbie Eurston, who comes back this way. Lewis Young's found a little gap. He's in between, but he's been hanked down by Andrew Skeen and Josh Rowland. Ball's getting caught up there in the middle. And again, like for like, it's going to be a penalty to Watsonians now for holding on at the ruck. Andrew Skeen now taking the penalty, looking to go to the far side. He's found Harry Fisher. Harry Fisher now finds Lewis Berg, player of the tournament at Melrose, and he's just found a gap in between Callum Young and Robbie Shearer Gibb, and Gary Monroe is just going to have to track back and stop him from going underneath the post to make the kick that a little bit harder, and Lewis Berg is going to go over for the first score in this final, and it's first blood to Watsonians, 5 points to 0 after 2 minutes. And Ali Harris gets play underway, another high hoisted restart. And Robbie Eurston again gathering that one expertly from the air, plucking it out, gathering it well and bringing it down safely so Gary Monroe can feed Lewis Young. He can feed Callum Young, and he's going to find a little gap again, just like he did in the opening exchange. He's just offloaded lovely, but out the back door, offload to Lewis Young. He's got support on the inside. Gary Monroe, can he gather it? No, he can't. He's knocked on just in front of the 10 metre line, just not able to gather that ball. And all he needed to do was gather it, and he had one player to beat, but unfortunately for them it's been turned over. It's now Watsonians. Can they make JED-FOREST pay? It's Ben Robbins. He's interlinking there with Lewis Berg. Lewis Berg just thwarting off Callum Young. And Callum Young, it's going to open up here for Ben Robbins, and Ben Robbins is going to march in unopposed. Ex-New Year sprint winner is just going to go under the sticks, make the conversion attempt easier for Watsonians and extend their lead in this final after 4 minutes. And it just shows how ruthless this Watsonians team are. A little knock on, and all of a sudden the ball's back into play. The defence is fragmented and they splinter it, and when they've got the pace, likes of Berg and Robbins and Rowland, even McKill, and they've got the pace to burn like that, it's a dangerous thing to try and do, is leave the door ajar to let Watsonians burst through. But Ali Harris adds the extras from the conversion. 12 points to 0, Watsonians lead. And it's about 5 minutes gone. Ali Harris will get play back underway. Hoist the ball again underneath Robbie Eurston, but it's been picked up by Gregor Law again. Unfortunate, he can't gather it. Robbie Eurston tried to kill the ball, but it's came back on the Watsonian side. Can they make them pay yet again? Andrew Skeen linking with Lewis Berg, cutting on halfway. It's now found Roland. Roland trying to find a little gap, offering the ball up to Skeen, but he's going to burst through. He can offer a little offload, but he gets back to his feet quickly, not held on the ground. Tries to offload to Fisher, but Fisher can't gather. And recycling the ball again here, it's Berg. Berg finds Fisher on this side. He's got a couple of defenders to beat, but it's been brought back for a forward pass there. Watsonians now through Josh Roland, just conceding metres but retaining the ball. Watsonians here, and Josh Roland now just linking there with Andrew Skeen. Andrew Skeen finds a little gap, just rolling back the years. He's still got the rugby brain on him. He's maybe not as agile as he used to be, but he's certainly got the rugby brain, and he spots a little gap, goes through, and it's set up there. Lewis Berg now for Charlie McKill. Charlie McKill linking up there with Josh Roland. Can he power through? Is he going to go himself? He steps back inside, unselfishly passes to Ben Robbins, and Ben Robbins under a little bit of pressure from Rory Marshall, but it looks like he has got the ball down, and Graham Ormiston gives yet another try just on the stroke of half time, and that's going to be a try to Watsonians. 17 points to 0. This team are not kings of the sevens for no reason. They're ruthless, and they like to punish teams when they do make mistakes, and they've got the skill set to do it. The conversion, they add the extras, 19 points to 0 at half time, so it's going to be an uphill struggle for JED-FOREST. Ross Goodfellow will be telling them just to throw caution to the wind. They've got absolutely nothing to lose. Retain the ball and limit the mistakes, and I'm sure JED-FOREST could find a couple of quick scores and they could be back into this game pretty early. I've just seen a couple of replacements coming on. Jamie Soule is going to come into the fray. I think he's going to replace Gregor Law. And you just wonder how long is it going to be before Richard Mill enters this final as well. He's certainly got the skull cap on, so he might be on quite soon, but Robbie Shearer Gibb is going to be taken off, and it's going to be Jamie Soule coming on, and Jai McGough is on as well, so that's the replacements. Andrew Skeen from the kickoff. It's found hands there, Lewis Berg. You can see the hunched over run of the big burly Lewis Berg, and straight from the kickoff. I did say the next score was going to be important, and Lewis Berg has made sure that it's going to be a Watsonians one. And there's going to be a little replacement here for JED-FOREST. It's going to be interesting to see who does come off. It looks like it's going to be Gary Monroe. He'll be disappointed because he's had a really good tournament, I feel. He's a player who does blow hot and cold, but for this tournament he's been hot all day. And he's played well, and he'll be disappointed to be exiting, but a player like Sir Richard Milne to come into the phrase. No mean replacement, but it's coming on what's on the inside. Josh Roland, he's passed the ball wide to Ben Robbins. Ben Robbins now linking with Josh Roland on a loop, and he's recycled the ball. Andrew Skeen now. Andrew Skeen finds Ewan Miller. Ewan Miller getting ball over to Charlie McKill. Charlie McKill just looking to take it. Route one, just tuck it up and take it into the heart of the JED-FOREST defence, but dynamic and quick play. Quick recycled ball. Ben Robbins now spotting a little gap, but he just sucked the two players in. Rory Marshall, good attempted tackle there, but he's just rolled out that Josh Roland. He's been carried over the try line. He's been turned over there by JED-FOREST, and they're going to have to go for deep. Can they get a score here to bring this the tie back into play? Callum Young now, he's found Jai McGough. Jai McGough found Robbie Eurston. A good link there from Richard Mill. Richard Mill linking up with Jai McGough on that far side, but he's needing support, and he's got it from Robbie Eurston. Robbie Eurston now finding himself a little bit isolated, but Jamie Soule is there, offering himself up in a great line in field. Good link-up play from the Enbrackes guys and the Jed guys, and it's recycled now. Josh Roland taking a bit of time to get back into defensive position, so can JED-FOREST expose that? Callum Young, he finds Lewis Young. Lewis Young now, he's found a huge high ball to Rory Marshall, and he could have got absolutely clattered there, but he did well to roll out with that challenge from Josh Roland. Now Richard Mill finds Jai McGough. Jai McGough now out wide to Jamie Soule, and Jamie Soule is find Robbie Eurston over on that far side. Is he going to go himself? He does. He tries to take it over on that far side. Good offload, and Jamie Soule has got the opportunity to offload here. Jai McGough has got a last ditch attempted tackle there from Watsonians, but again a penalty is going to come here for an infringement from Watsonians. It's going to be Charlie McKill just getting in the road of that offload there and knocking forward, so it's going to be a penalty here to JED-FOREST. They better start acting quick because they've not got a lot of time left in this game. Jai McGough now, he finds Richard Mill. Richard Mill has passed the ball to Lewis Young across the 22 here. He's got an opportunity here. Callum Young going on the cut, and it's been well marshalled there by Watsonians, but ironically it's Rory Marshall going in for the score. Passing back to Callum Young now. to try and get the conversion taken quickly, but it's a reply score for JED-FOREST. They've been really good from the restart this afternoon, JED-FOREST. They're going to be even better here with Jamie Soule. So it is Soule, they're going to try and pick it on, and he does exactly that, flaps back, but it's came back on the Watsonian side. Maybe an opportunity to try and clutch that, but it's Watsonians now. Ali Harris recycling himself well there into midfield, linking up well. It's now Ben Robbins, and Ben Robbins just dancing about. We know he could go for here, but he's going to need that gap to be able to go from deep, and it's Ali Harris now. He goes round the outside, show and go, goes round the outside of Jai McGough, and he's got Richard Mill. He's not fancying taking him on, but he just checks, stops. Lewis Berg again, hunched over run, and he's going to be tracked all the way back by Richard Mill. Can Richard Mill get to him before he gets to the line? I don't think so. And Lewis Berg just slides over the line to make it 31 points to 5. And in the occasion where Watsonians are down to 6 men, they can still make the attacking ventures into the Jed half count. And Jai McGough now has it. He's got options there. He pulls back deep. Callum Young now finds Richard Mill. Richard Mill taking play into the face of the Watsonians defence. Rory Marshall bouncing off his feet once, twice. He's trying to go again, but it's cut off well and marshalled well there by Ewan Miller. Recycled by Lewis Young. Now Callum Young. He finds Jai McGough on the halfway line. Now Jamie Soule for it in JED-FOREST colours for the final. He's cut well with Callum Young over on that far side and found Lewis Young now. And play is up into the 22. It's Jai McGough who's managed to just work his way into the 22, into the 5 metre line. The referee has deemed there to be crossing there between the two players, and there's going to be a penalty to Watsonians. You wonder if they're going to ask if this is going to be full time, and it is exactly going to be that. Ali Harris taps the ball, kicks out, and Watsonians add the JED-FOREST crown to the Berwick, Langham, Kelso and Earlston tournament wins that they've picked up this season. A 5th win on the circuit for them this season, which takes their tally up to 71 points in the Kings of the Sevens table. An impressive amount of points, a fair distance between them and Boroughmuir and JED-FOREST. They finish on 40 points in 5th position. So Watsonians 71 points, Boroughmuir on 54, Inbrackies on 48, Melrose on 43, Jed on 40, and then Kelso, Hoyk, Gala and Heriots trailing a little bit further back. But it is all about Watsonians. What a formidable outfit they've been on the Kings of the Sevens circuit this season. But commiserations to Jed, just falling short in the final here. It is Watsonians who win the final tournament in the Kings of the Sevens circuit, and JED-FOREST eventually, once 15's duties were done and dusted, they managed to get the squad back together and back in Sevens duty. But unfortunately for them, all they've got to show for their efforts this season is 2 runners-up medals, whereas Watsonians have a lot of silverware on their table come the end of the season. They'll be lifting shortly, they'll be lifting the Kings of the Sevens tournament trophy, and they'll also be lifting the JED-FOREST tournament trophy after a very comprehensive win over JED-FOREST in the final. So Watsonians head and shoulders above everybody else. They have been crowned the Kings of the Sevens and the winners of the JED-FOREST tournament.
Well, Andrew Skeen, absolute legend of the game here. You've just announced your retirement from the Sevens game.
Yeah, I mean Dave Harris announced it. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. No, I said to Dave the other week that I'm probably done. I've loved every minute of it. It's been brilliant, but you get to that point and you kind of know it's time.
What a way to go out, though. I mean, 3 Watsonians back-to-back Kings of the Sevens titles. You've got the complete set of the Kings of Sevens medals, and I think you've won about 25 individual medals as well. That is some record.
Yeah, look, I can't complain, but you got to look at every one of those, and it's a team game. Without the team and everyone involved, it doesn't happen. I've just been in the right place at the right time.
What does it actually mean to the club to be Kings of the Sevens 3 years running?
Oh, look, it's massive. You just need to look at the number of boys that want to be involved, and I mean we've used over 20 boys, and there's so much quality, but everyone wants to be there. They're desperate to get in the squad, they're desperate to play, and we always target Kings. Obviously we want to win the individual tournaments along the way, and that all ties in, but Kings is a big target.
And we interviewed you last year when you lost to Melrose, and you were obviously disappointed. You won the Kings, that was all wrapped up, but you still wanted that icing on the cake. Today you got the icing on the cake. Yeah,
it was the first thing I said in the change room this morning was, it was an early start for us, but yeah, I said, look, there's nothing worse than losing a tournament and then having to get a trophy. So I said, look, let's focus, let's win the tournament, and then we'll go and get Kings as well.
And you actually won 3 trophies today, because there was Macari Cup as well for being the best team outside the borders, plus obviously the JED winners and the Kings of the Sevens, and a personal presentation for you as well, which was a nice touch.
No, really nice touch from Dave and the boys, so really appreciate that. But yeah, really successful day for us.
So what's Andrew Skeen going to do now?
I don't know. Go and rest for a few weeks, see how the body is, and just enjoy a bit of family time, I think, and get away from it for a while.
Well, the pleasure you've given has been absolutely immense. Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.